Is the country getting it right in agriculture and finding food on the table? Yes, the nation is doing everything possible to ensure that we have food on our table. Welcome to today's edition of the program Midday Discourse right here on Global TV, Abuja. We are on the drive to ensure that there is availability of food in the country. On today's edition of the program, my guest is Dr. Sanjo Thaniron. He is the convener of Food System, many more. Nigerian's capital city. He is a staff of the budget and planning, and he's working closely to ensure that we have food in the country, not only in Abuja, but across the country, working with partners for this purpose. On today's edition of the program, we'll be looking at the forthcoming meeting, Nigerian's capital city, where he will be championing the production of food with his guests, who are commissioners of agriculture across the country. Doctor, welcome to the program.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, Doctor, let's go straight. We're talking about food availability in the country, and you seem to be on the driving seat. You're playing host, coming together with all the commissioners of agriculture.
Yes.
What party do you have for them in Abuja?
Yeah, thank you very much. You know, what I am coordinating, I'm the national convener for the United Nations Initiated Food System Transformation Pathways in Nigeria. And the initiative came as a program to accelerate the achievement of the SDGs. But fortunately, while we had 17 recommendations that came out of exploratory dialogue across the country in 2021 and presented by President Buhari in New York to the UN Food Systems Summit, then as the president was coming in last year, he declared emergency on food security and water, which now made it conveniently possible to flow as we have been flowing before the president declared the... with this, we commence implementation, and we are making sure that it's collaborative, because it has the United Nations, 3 agencies of the United Nations, to support the government of Nigeria in ensuring that all the 78 recommendations that we presented in New York are actually implemented. And that is International Fund for Food and Agriculture, IFAD, then the World Food Program, WFP, and Food and Agriculture Organization. They are the 3 key agencies that were given the mandate to support the government of Nigeria. But what we are doing is we make sure that whatever we are doing, we let it cut across the entire country, because my ministry, it does not implement. The only thing is that we are coordinating all relevant stakeholders, because the issue of food is a multi-stakeholder issue, and then the food system transformation is a chain that look at food from the farm to the dining table, including nutrition, post-harvest losses, and some other things. And we know that this is a challenge that Nigeria is facing. So with that, we are working with all the states, all the 6 states, including FCT, and we are inviting all the commissioners of agriculture, commissioners of economic planning, and commissioners of earth to Abuja on the 7th and 8th of March to sensitize them, because they are all new commissioners. Because we started with the parent secretary, we were holding forth last year before the appointment of the new commissioners, and the new commissioners are now on board. We want them to have conceptual understanding of what we are doing in the food system and the reason why they have to coordinate in their various states. Ordinarily, it is the State Ministry of Economic Planning that is expected to coordinate the implementation of nutrition policy in their various states, that are supposed to also coordinate the food system, the implementation of food system transformation pathways in collaboration with the Federal Ministry with the Ministry of Agriculture in the states. But this time around, because of the nutrition components, we also added Commissioner for Health to join the Commissioner for Commissioner for Economic Planning, and in the retreat that we hold in Abuja on the 7th and 8th of March 2024.
Yes, Doctor, how soon can we start having food on the table? Because it looks like Nigeria have never been hungry like this. Over the weekend, there were a report of hoodlums attacking warehouses, not going for physical, but going for food items. It means Nigeria is really, really hungry. How soon can we start having food with all this you've said?
You know, the problem of food is not government. It is an environmental issue. So when you look at it, you see that the inability of farmers to go to the farm due to insecurity was as a result of the challenges of, let me say, like in the Northeast now, you see the challenges of the dryness of the dry up of Lake Chad that is actually employing a large number of people. You know, when they don't have anything to do, and I do hand is a devil's place. But what I want to say is that we will be having food on the table with the approach that the government is doing. You see a large amount of money that government is pumping into food, into agriculture, particularly this year, in this year budget. And you also see that almost everybody is now all under on deck. Like this, our food system transformation pathway. We are encouraging a lot of things. We are encouraging a homestead garden and backyard garden, so that everybody, we know we want to encourage a situation where we can feed ourselves. We grow what we eat and we eat what we grow. So when everybody is involved in planting one thing or the other, apart from improving the nutrition, if at the back of your house you can plant vegetable, you can rear fishery, you can do fishery, you have protein, you have some other thing that can add to the food. So with this, we are promoting homestead gardening. We're also promoting school gardening. So we want everybody to be involved. We're also encouraging all states of federation to have a farm estate that can accommodate youth, women, and the vulnerable groups in society. So if all this effort that the government is making can yield results, you see that there will be food on the table, because we are used to be expecting government to allow importation of food, whereas we have a large number of land space that anybody can plant. And God bless Nigeria with a very rich land, rich soil that can grow anything. Whatever you put on the soil in Nigeria will come out fruitfully. So we are expecting food to be plenty. Like the wife of the president is also promoting homestead gardening now. She's even putting a price on it that women that can do well, she has a lot of things for them. You see, if all these things, by the time, when you plant today, the next 6 months you don't have result. But we are just starting a lot of things. Once those things start materializing, you see that there will be a lot of food on the table. Just cooperation of the citizen, that they should see it as that we say joint effort. It's not the burden of government to be the one that will be providing food, but we can provide food for ourselves.
Doctor, let's get to know some of your stakeholders in this business, the real farmers who are in the farm. Are they playing a major role in what you're doing?
Yes, by the arrangement for the food system transformation pathways, the United Nations initiated one. It's a global program. So what we did was to make sure that all states are carried along. Every state is a stakeholder, because food is not growing in Abuja, it's not growing in Lagos. It's growing in the community, it's growing in the villages. So, and states coordinate local governments, communities, and villages. So state is the first collaborator, the first partner. Then we also now encourage state now to initiate whatever they are doing with respect to food system. If there is any partner that may want to support them, we can coordinate the support of the development partners. But we should not put our mind on saying that the development partner will be the one that come and do our thing for us in Nigeria. But when we see that element of seriousness, we have the issue of food is a multi-stakeholder thing. The one we are promoting in the food system is not only agriculture. We are also promoting processing, because we are looking at food from the farm to the dining table. If you are looking at food from the farm to the dining table, you are looking at food supply, which is agriculture. You are also looking at food processing, and that's why we are encouraging support to microprocessors. We are encouraging support to private sectors. We are encouraging support to everybody. The logistics is there, the movement of food from the farm to the market. You can see what Lagos State is doing now. They have a series of retail hubs because Lagos State got it right. They are the host. They are one of the first hosts to the exploratory dialogue that we did in 2021, when we were asking every state of the federation to come, everybody, every stakeholders to come up with whatever are the challenges of food in Nigeria, from the farm to the dining table. And states keyed into every state. There's no state that didn't participate. If all states participated, then the recommendation that we agreed upon is supposed to be the responsibility of the state. So state is the first stakeholder. And that's why we are bringing the Commissioner for Economic Planning. Commissioner for Economic Planning is supposed to coordinate, like the Federal Ministry of Budget and Economic Planning is coordinating the implementation at the federal level. We expect the states to also coordinate, because states coordinate the implementation of food and nutrition policy at the state level. And we are encouraging the states too to expand the State Committee on Food and Nutrition to accommodate all other stakeholders, including private sector, including civil society organizations, including every other person, the processors, anybody that can contribute to achieving nutrition and healthy diet in Nigeria.
You're listening to the program Midday Discourse on Global TV right here in Nigeria's capital city. This beautiful day, our guest is Dr. Sanjo Faniron. He is the convener of food and preservation in the country. He will be playing host to all the commissioners of agriculture in Abuja for a 2-day discussion to pathway or perhaps ensure there is food on the table. Doctor, available record from this exercise that you are doing, available record, does it show that the farmers are actually feeling some of this discussion you have at the high table?
Yes, why not? We say what we first did in the Federal Ministry of Budget and Economic Planning was to constitute a national task team that will be thinking on how do we have effective implementation of this UN-initiated food system transformation pathways. And I can assure you that all Farmers Association is a member, they are a member of this task team. They have actually, made their challenges known. They have made their intention known. They complain about the funding of agriculture, funding of private sector, funding of farmers, all those things. And we said that all these things will come to a pass when we all agree to do a common, to go on a common lane.
What is the common lane, Doctor?
The common lane is that everybody should see the issue of food availability as everybody's problem, not government problem.
But some argue that the lack of insecurity is a major challenge. Are you working with security agencies to ensure that farmers have a way to assess, harvest, and then implement?
You know, what we did in our strategy, implementation strategy, because that 78 priority actions that was developed in 2021. 78 also has, we are developing implementation strategy. In the implementation strategy, what we put there, because we don't implement as a ministry, and I always tell the tax team that our own is to find a way of making sure that those that are supposed to implement have something easy that can be implemented easily. And that is part of our recommendation in the strategy was that we should initiate a clustered arrangement of farming. Like all these smallholder farmers, they should come together. Unfortunately, I know the Federal Ministry of Agriculture has a lot of formations where practice is clustered. Then we are also encouraging the farm estate. Where the government has a farm estate, there will be provision for security. There will be provision for encouraging the private sector to thrive. There will be provision to encourage the youth to practice agriculture. So if the state is, that's why I said that the responsibility of the food is that of the state. The state knows where and how they can support farmers, especially farmers can cluster together, how they can support them with security. Why they also be their own security? Because if there are a large number of farmers are in the same environment clustered together, everybody has their own farm, but they are within the same environment. They will create a sort of security arrangement that will enable them to flourish and to flow. But at the same time, there are some that are beyond them. So that the government can now initiate. How do they protect them? But they must first of all show concern first and not expect government to be the one that will be provide everything. If you allow the Nigerians, they want its government to do everything. And government cannot do anything. Government will not plan food for you. You have for instance, in the villages, you see people living in the village, they have farm at the back of their house. Then they are calling somebody in Abuja to send money to them to buy vegetable. They send to them money to them to buy what they can produce. At the back of the house and in front of the houses. And you see a large number of people now using sack to even to grow yam, and it's flourishing. If all of us can go and understand the fact that you don't need to, you can grow what you eat and you can eat what you are growing, and that will give us opportunity to have the food on the table, and at the same time to see that we don't need to say that because of insecurity then we will die of hunger. There's no this thing. I don't think so.
Doctor, one major challenge farmers are facing across the globe is the processing, and of course, these goods get destroyed on the way between their farms and the market. What's part of the 78 agenda you have? Is there any way you are helping the farmers in pricing as well as processing some of these perishable goods that they get from the farm?
You know, like I said, we don't implement, but we are also encouraging, we are promoting addressing post-harvest losses. And that's why I said the other time that the issue of food system is a chain, is within the food value chain. the storage is one of the key issues. And this one is an investment opportunity to private sector that may want to partner with the states or any other stakeholders or any other farmer to create an infrastructure that we house, that we store food items. Another thing is that in some states now, they have started having food retail hub that can accommodate anybody. And I know, like Lagos State is doing a lot. Every day now, open to TV8. You see, even governor himself is leading the process. If all of us can see it as the problem of as a situation where they need to encourage farmers to grow and not to lose whatever they grow in terms of allowing it to perish. Government can, a lot of things that government can do, but that is not for federal, it's the state government. Though Federal Ministry of Agriculture also try, but at the same time, they are also coordinating across the country. They are leading the coordination of food system, they are leading the coordination of agriculture, they are leading the coordination of the food security. But the bulk of the matter is at the state level. It's the state. Whatever you ask, the state.
Doctor, are you satisfied with the state involvement?
Yeah, of course. States are the
more 36 states, you've severally mentioned one state, Lagos. And,
all other states are doing, like Borno, Kebbi. You see the rice value chain in Kebbi. So every state has something, one or two things to project. Like the Federal Ministry of Trade and Investment through the Nigeria Export Promotion Council, they have an initiative that allow one state, one product. Then we also have in every state, there is no state that does not have a particular crop that grows better. There is no zone that does not have where they can use whatever is available within the zone to make it a sort of innovation.
But where is the hunger coming from, Doctor, if all you're saying that all the states are fully involved in this? If that's the case, then we shouldn't even be thinking of even going to import food. Are you aware federal government is thinking of importing food?
I'm aware, but I don't think it's the best, because that is the reason why we are where we are, over-dependent. There's no country that depends on importation that will survive. Let's enjoy the pain now. This is the farming season is coming by next week, and this month, by the middle of this month, or towards the end of this month, we will start planting. Let everybody go and plant one thing or the other. Then the next 6 months, you see that there will be food. If you plant maize now by May ending, we start harvesting. If everybody buy into that, and the small farm owners are encouraged to plant, and everybody at the back of their house are doing something, you see that by June, people will not be complaining too much. Because what actually made the food to be scarce, the way we are saying, is the issue of the foreign exchange. The moment the foreign exchange challenges came, then the food scarcity become a thing of announcement that everybody is now saying food is. So, over-dependence is actually one of the bane of this country's development, and people actually do not want to do anything. We need to look at that.
Midday Discourse on Global TV right here in Nigeria's capital city. Our guest has been Dr. Sanjo Fani Road. We take a break. When we come back, he will be providing answers, especially as he play host to commissioners and top agriculture and planning various states in the country right here. Let's take a break, just a minute, and when we come back, there'll be more.
I can answer.
Glad to have you back on the program Midday Discourse right here on Global TV, Nigeria's capital city. We are looking at means of bringing back food on the table. And we're glad to have Dr. Sanjo Faniron, who is the convener of a food system in the country, working with other international bodies to ensure Nigeria have food on the table. We've been taking a look at a series of steps, implementation. And Doc, let's come back again. This commissioner that will be here for 2 days, what are the top dignitaries that will be at the event? Do we expect from the federal government side of it?
Yeah, the retreat will be declared open by my minister. And we have also sent a letter of invitation to the Honourable Minister of Agriculture, Honourable Minister of Environment, Honourable Minister of Health, Honourable Minister of Information. So if they come, then we also invited the Chair House Committee on Nutrition and Senate Committee on Food Security. So we believe that they can give a good will, and then it shows government commitment and the political will, because Mr. President is critical on this when it comes to food. And when the government is doing anything, it's collaboration that can make things work. Like I said, that even the wife of the president is doing something. Federal Ministry of Agriculture is doing a lot, and they even have formation in all the state of federation. If we have an initiative that we want the states to buy into, then we can, the formation of the Federal Ministry of Agriculture in all the states can help us to backstop at the state level, so that they will be able to play along. Like I told you, with respect to the implementation of the nutrition policy at the state level, we have State Committee on Food and Nutrition, which we want it to be expanded. By the time we have this one on our strategy, then they will say so all those that matter. We have people from the academia that are coming. We have some professors who are invited. We're also inviting some of our consultants that are supporting each of the six political zones to be in attendance in this at this retreat. And we hope that the retreat will definitely bring out a positive result, because once they have the conceptual understanding, then all of us will see that it's not something that belongs to one person. It is all of us that will do it. If we work with that mindset, honestly, Nigeria will turn to be a different country. Thank you.
Yes, Doctor, how did it all started? In the past, we're talking about value chain. Today, we're not talking about value chain. How did it start?
How did this food system start?
Yes, started.
Yeah, sincerely, in 2020, towards the end of 2020, the United Nations Secretary General called all member countries of the UN, that is Antonio Guterres. He called all of them, he sent letters that year 2021 to 2030 is the decade of action for accelerating SDGs, achievement of SDG. You know, SDG we had in 2030. And with that, he now encouraged all states to go, all countries, to go to dialogue in their various countries across the length and breadth of their country, and look at the challenges facing food from the farm to the dining table. And from the farm to the dining table now brought about the food value chain. It's not limited to food supply, which is agriculture. It also includes food processing. It also includes climate issue, environmental issue. It involves transportation, movement of food. It involves food retailing. It will involve food fortification, where the nutrition comes in now. Even the type of seedlings that we are encouraging for planting are fortified seedlings, which I know the Federal Ministry of Agriculture has done a lot now to promote. So if we can have so with that, we went around the country, Nigeria, on geographical zone. We do exploratory dialogue in 2 states, in each of the 6 geographical zones, and we brought 33 states together for the dialogue, and everybody came out. All relevant stakeholders were invited because we allowed the state to organize it. Then, at the end of the day, we came up with a large number of suggestions, observations. Then that was now synthesized into 6 clusters. The 6 clusters now have 78 recommendation actions. And that was what Mr. President Buhari, the former president, President Buhari, took to UN, the first UN Food System Summit on September 23, 2021. And at that summit, it was agreed that every 2 years, UN will call a meeting of countries to review the implementation status, and which led to the stock taking of 2023. that was led by the vice president in Rome. And Nigeria was considered and adjudged as one of the countries that is doing best in the implementation of the recommendations that was presented in 2021. So we are working towards another 2 years now in 2025. Because if we don't take the bull by the horn, if we are not aggressive with whatever we are doing on it, I mean, when the time comes, it will look as if our country can never lag behind. And so that is it. That was the origin of everything.
Okay, Doctor, finally, let's look at the synergies these government agencies working together. How's it been like?
Yeah, we are working together. Like I'm telling you now that when we started implementing in 2021, in 2022 January, the first thing we did was to come up with a call to action that identified all relevant stakeholder MDs. And we now wrote a letter. Then I was a technical advisor to the National Convener, Mrs. Olushola Idowu. And we called all states, we wrote to all MDs, relevant MDs, about 30 MDs, to nominate somebody that will serve in the technical working group so that we can have synergy. Every stakeholder will know what they should do, and they will be doing what they will do. We also have role for states, all the states, state ministers, and even for communities, so that we can always track the implementation at both the federal, the state, and local government level.
Well, that's how far we can go. We take a break, how far we can go with Doctor. When we come back, we'll be looking on a different topic on today's edition of the program, Midday Discourse, right on Global TV. Dr. Sanjo Faniron, we want to say a very big thank you for giving us this opportunity.
You're welcome, sir.
And we do hope that when you will be bringing all the commissioners, we'll be part of there as part of our own contribution
welcome,
to our
sir.
beloved fatherland.
You're welcome, sir.
Doctor, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. You can even interview them when you come.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
That's the size of part one of the program. This our beautiful afternoon that we'll be talking to Dr. Sanjo Faniron. Of course, he works with the budget ministry, but he's a key player on the conveying of food system in the country. Doctor, once again, thanks a million.
Thank you, sir.
Let's take a break. When we come back, our new guest will be with us on the program, Midday Discourse, right on Global TV Abuja. Please don't go away.